Today, I want to show you a flight so remarkable I have trouble describing the experience. It spans 2 states, features the U.S.'s most iconic national park, and pushes my glider's performance to the max. This is what soaring is all about. Welcome to the complete joy of gliding. The forecast promised clouds starting at 10 a.m., so I took an early tow from Minden. I released after clearing the ridge and found decent climbs near South Lake Tahoe. The plan was originally to make a horseshoe around the southern end of the valley, but the forecast kept changing. It looked like the route south was going to be too rainy. My backup plan was to fly north to Oregon and back to Williams. However, once I climbed high enough, it was obvious the clouds were not ready for me yet. I ran down the west side of the Sierras to the south. It was hazy, but there was no rain as far as I could see. Maybe my original plan would work after all. The lines were working well, and I maintained about 15,000 feet of altitude. Although the terrain is pretty hostile here, I felt good that the glide computer always showed that I could easily make it at least halfway across the Central Valley. I honestly had no clue where I was, but I noticed Yosemite Village on the moving map and looked down. I was above the infamous Yosemite National Park and had a first-class aerial view of Half Dome. I paused a while just to enjoy this special moment in space and time. Eventually, I could see there was too much rain ahead to continue much longer. Just a few days before, I had a lunch conversation with one of my gliding mentors, Buzz. He told me it was possible to glide across California's entire Central Valley, and that he himself had done it a few times. I began seriously considering this option instead of turning back north, and figured it would be fun no matter the outcome, so I left the Sierras. I couldn't see the other side of the valley at first, which was disconcerting. The first clouds finally came into view, and my only thought was, there is no way I can make that. I had a lot of time on my hands. The glide is about 100 miles, and it took me an hour and 10 minutes. I was aiming for the Pinoche Hills because I've climbed there many times, and it was the closest option I knew. My arrival altitude slowly got higher, and I arrived comfortably on top of the hills and climbed away. Then I ran south on the coastal ranges like a typical Hollister milk run. You probably recognize the scenery from my earlier flights this year. I met several of my Hollister friends in the air here, and I ran down the convergence to the California Valley and turned around. On the way back, there were a few rain showers. Have a look at this stunning double rainbow. Arriving high over Hollister, I didn't want the fun to end, so I tried a couple of loops. I'm not an aerobatic pilot, it's just for the sheer joy. I have never had more fun in a glider. I went places I'd never been. I saw new sights I'd never seen. I was prepared. I improvised, and I learned new things about my glider and myself. This is why I glide.